A very good morning. In today's market outlook, we're going to be analyzing EURUSD and the other major dollar pairs and of course gold. So let's dive straight in. EURUSD has pushed very deeply in towards the downside after seeing a rejection of that 4-hour area of supply, and obviously as well on the daily, which is even more beautiful to see that daily area of supply as well. So after coming in towards daily supply and fulfilling this 1, 2 and then third touch of the overall ascending trend line, we can very clearly see a beautiful downside rejection back down in towards this overall daily sell before the buy. So we've currently tapped back in towards an area of daily demand from where we could potentially move back up. However, price is a little bit stuck, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So going in towards the 4-hour time frame, what we can see on this chart over here is that the 4-hour time frame is bullish. Obviously, we're creating a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, a higher low, and somewhere over here you would expect a new higher low to be formed. Now, what I've been looking for on EURUSD yesterday was just a slight push deeper in towards the downside, in towards this 4-hour imbalance to grab the demand, and then from there push up higher. Now, for today, what I'm looking at is the fact that we are currently located inside of this area of supply. So obviously this is your overall buy before that big sell-off. Remember what I mentioned in yesterday's video, this was the fractal low. If we just zoom in a little bit, what you can then see is that this fractal low got broken. That was the fractal low which took out this fractal high over here. So we got a fractal shift in structure, guys. And the fractal shift is just purely push up, pull back, push up, and then based on the wicks that you're seeing over here. So we get that push back down after tapping in towards this overall buy before the sell. And from there, we've kind of been rejecting in towards the downside. Now, we do have to keep in mind, obviously, the 4-hour fractal may be bearish, but the overall 4-hour time frame is bullish. So if we just draw in our premium versus discount tool, we can indeed see that we have already pulled back in towards that 50% mark, and therefore we wouldn't necessarily need to push down again one more time. However, there is a lot of liquidity situated underneath this low, so there are two options for the day ahead. What I'm going to be looking for is that if we do get a push down, I'm not going to be looking for a short from here. I'm only going to be looking for a long if we liquidate this low itself. Then we look for a long on EURUSD. That is my strategy. For the rest, we rejected the 50% mark, so we could already start pushing up higher, for example, in towards these imbalances. So I'm going to be looking on the 15-minute time frame to see what is going on over there. So obviously on the 15-minute time frame, there is no liquidation in this overall move down. And what happens if there is no liquidation in this overall move down? 99 out of 100 times you will liquidate the own highs. So there is still so much liquidity resting above these highs. It is very, very clear. Furthermore, we also have liquidity resting above this high. So in my opinion, EURUSD is going to push up higher. If not, then obviously we push down lower first, we grab liquidity, and then we look for that long position. So in both instances will be good. For now, what I'll be looking for is to take a potential long once we break above this high over here. If we break above that, I'll just follow the overall order flow upwards and just make sure my stop loss is set to break even once we reach this area of supply over here, okay? But I do obviously expect these highs to get swiped. So that's the strategy for today, not looking necessarily for a short in towards the downside, just because for me, it doesn't really fit my plan. What I'll be looking for is a long if we break above these highs, or I'll be looking for a long if we push down in towards here. I'll only be looking for shorts once we come up higher again and liquidate these highs. So that is the game plan for EURUSD. Now let's dive into the dollar index. So the dollar index itself here on the 4-hour time frame, let me just go to the 4-hour, so a strong push upwards, guys. As you can very clearly see, what yesterday happened is that we broke this fractal high. After that, we saw a massive push in towards the upside. So we disregarded this area of supply over here, which we can delete. And what we can see is that we very clearly came back up in towards this area of supply over here, which we have then since been rejecting. So yeah, overall, dollar index obviously bearish here on the 4-hour time frame. So it would make sense for us to push down lower again after coming back in towards this supply zone. Just based on overall market structure, it would also make sense for the dollar to come in towards here, obviously, to grab more demand before either heading up higher or then heading down lower. So I am kind of looking for short-term downside here on the dollar. So that is that. If we do push up higher, which could be the case, then I'll be waiting for another high break of this just for a double break confirmation. Then if we do break that, then I'll definitely be looking to take out at least this high over here and then eventually push up higher in towards these areas of 4-hour supply. So for further upside, I'm looking for a high break of this high over here. Then we'll also take out this high and reach that supply zone. In my opinion, otherwise short-term push down. So yeah, that is what I'm looking for on the dollar. Now going in towards AUDUSD, what did we see yesterday? So we did see an initial reaction, obviously in towards the downside. So yesterday's video, I explained this is your fractal low over here, guys. But let me show you the daily first, just to make everything extremely clear. So in yesterday's video, what I explained was that the daily time frame might be swing bearish. Okay, might be swing bearish, but overall what you're seeing is a bullish daily fractal structure. And a bullish daily fractal structure simply just means that the overall candlesticks themselves are bullish. So we're seeing a push up, we're seeing a pullback, we're seeing a push up. Now again, we've seen a pullback in towards here. And since then, as I explained in yesterday's video, you can watch yesterday's video back. I explained the daily now looks good to push up higher. So I do think still that Aussie dollar will push up higher in towards the next area of supply before selling off in towards the downside. So just follow the overall daily fractal structure. Yesterday, I was looking at a potential short, guys, here on the 4-hour time frame. This was the fractal low. We broke the fractal low, meaning these imbalances up top become your supply over here. What I use to identify imbalances is the 50% body candle indicator. Then they become white, the imbalances. And then over here, you could see we take the last 2 candles of imbalance as your supply. But you can see, okay, we do see an initial reaction, but there was also no lower time frame confirmation. So yeah, no short for myself. Now just waiting and expecting this overall region just to be broken in towards the upside. That is what it is looking like for now. So yeah, personally not in my plan, but you could look for longs once this area of supply is broken. And then, yeah, just follow the overall order flow upwards. For now, we need to break the overall fractal high, which is the high of this bearish candle over here. Once we break that, you could look for those longs towards daily supply. But just keep in mind where you are trading on the daily, and that is inside a premium, right? So you're trading near that 618 fib retracement. So it is getting a lot riskier for longs. But obviously, if we do break that supply zone, I think this move will be filled very soon, and we will push in towards this daily supply zone. Now going in towards pound dollar, what are we seeing over there? So we've seen a push up higher. Very interesting. Obviously, again, if you watched yesterday's video back, we had 2 areas of demand. Demands on number 1, demands on number 2. Demands on number 2 was extra interesting with the liquidity above it. But on the other side, guys, what we can very clearly see is that we also had a liquidity low over here, as I mentioned as well in yesterday's video. So you could have taken that into consideration. What you see happening is you see a liquidation of this low pushing towards demand, and then from there we reverse back in towards the highs. Remember, on the 15-minute time frame, guys, I was explaining this area of supply is not very interesting, and what you see, the supply zone does not hold. So you would have been stopped out regardless of the news. So better that we didn't take a trade on GBPUSD. We now saw a push in towards there. So yeah, it is looking bullish for now, pound dollar, after tapping towards this demand zone. Obviously, you could consider this a BOS. Did we close above the line? No, not yet. So we're still waiting for a 4-hour bullish close above this high. Then you'll have the 4-hour BOS. But for now, yeah, GBPUSD is looking pretty bullish. No clear areas of supply, pretty much actually, until we reach this level over here. So I'm not looking for any shorts as of now, just so you know. Only once we start breaking this daily fractal low again, maybe I'll be looking for a short once again. But yeah, for the rest, not really looking for any shorts on GBPUSD just yet. It's more looking like some longs for now. Now going in towards NZDUSD, what are we seeing on this pair? So NZDUSD, here on the daily time frame, guys, what happened? On the daily, we reacted to this area of supply. We sold off in towards the downside, which was good. So yesterday, what I explained is that we were looking for a potential short. Why were we looking for a potential short? Because the overall order flow shifted from bullish to bearish. What you can see is a higher high, higher high, a higher high, higher low, higher low. Okay. Now, what we had as well, this is not necessarily a higher high, but this is more like fractal structure. So what you see over here is push up, pull back, push up. So we get a big push up, then we get a big push down. We break this fractal low over here. Let me just clean it up for you guys and zoom in so you fully understand. We break the fractal low over here, then push down, pull back in towards supply, push down again. Okay, now again, break the fractal low, push back up in towards supply, push back down again. These X's are still from yesterday's video. We had liquidity resting underneath this low. You grab the liquidity, now you're reversing towards the upside. So now what is happening on NZDUSD? the fractal high has now been broken. So this fractal low over here was broken by this fractal high, meaning that we now have demand inside of this sell before the buy. So what are we now looking for? We're looking more at potential longs on NZDUSD for now, which is pretty similar to like Aussie dollar as well. So yeah, if we do get a pullback in towards here, then I'll definitely be looking to grab the liquidity again, which is resting above this high over here, or maybe even push into the extreme. So that is NZDUSD for you. Also 50-minute change in structure. So just very easily explained, guys. Push down, pull back, push down. We break the structural high, push down, pull back up like this. It's kind of like just a structural change. So they're looking for those longs on NZDUSD to grab, let's say, the liquidity, which is resting above not only this swing high, but for example, also this high over here, and maybe even fill this clean move. So let's keep all options open. I'll be looking for more interesting, let's say positions. Obviously, if we reach these lower areas of demand, but for now, the long is on the table. If we break the fractal low again, shorts are on the table, back down in towards those lower levels. So going in towards our last pair, which is gold. And guys, if you look at yesterday's thumbnail, you would have spotted an Easter egg on gold. I shared the exact positions which you could have taken. There was a long and there was a short. As we can see, yesterday, guys, we played ping pong. So we came in towards that supply zone, which I mentioned, right? And then we came in towards the demand zone and we sold and we bought back up again. So first went down from supply, back up from demand. So absolute beautiful scenes. Overall, on the 4-hour time frame, what is now happening? So on the 4-hour time frame, the overall fractal structure, guys, and this is why I love fractal structure, because this is the low that broke. We created supply, we come in towards supply, and we sell off into demand. So now we broke this fractal low over here, meaning this is the high which broke this fractal low. So this is now the high to break in order to reach all-time highs again. So until then, gold is obviously kind of now a little bit rangy. But if you really want to take a high probability position, that is my advice. For now, we can very clearly see why we're selling off. We had a bullish internal structure, now bearish internal structure, right? So we came up, down, up. Then what happened? We sold off down, and now we came back up. Now it looks like we're selling off down again. Overall structure is bearish now here on 4-hour fractal. Keep that in mind. If you want to take higher probability positions, I would say just wait for this 4-hour fractal high to go, and then we'll start pushing up. Until then, maybe just some chopping around. But I'll keep you guys posted if I see anything interesting. The most interesting positions on gold were taken yesterday. So have a great day, guys. Speak soon, and bye.